Ready for this? Because over the next couple of days, Americans will move from filling their stomachs to filling those shopping bags. Are you ready for this?
Very nice. I'm definitely ready for this. But will we see a wave of eager shoppers physically at the stores, or will that be a ripple? Because folks have online options now as well. Black Friday, of course, remembered as a rather aggressive shopping day across the country. Everyone in this video seems relatively polite. But we've seen in years past...
Oh, just wait for it.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I spoke too soon. In years past, consumers have sprinted and shoved to latch onto the best deals before others can reach them. But has the rise of online shopping and other changes altered or even ostensibly eliminated Black Friday altogether, huh?
Joining us now is John Quelch. He is the Dean of the University of Miami Herbert Business School. Thank you very much for joining us. You know, Black Friday is such a tradition for so many people. And I want to ask you this first. Consumers, they spent close to $65 billion online, though, already in the first 3 weeks of November. That is essentially flat from last year, despite stubbornly high inflation. So because of all this, could stores be empty or more empty this Black Friday than before because people have already started shopping early? I feel like I've been getting all those alerts for Black Friday sales weeks in advance.
Righto, Nancy. So there are two questions there. One is whether or not there's an overall shift from in-store buying to online. That shift continues this year, but at a slower pace. There is a large number of consumers who have an appetite, I think, to get back into stores. And while online sales will continue to rise, fear about missing out on the latest deal or fear of stockouts preventing you getting the toy that you want to put in the Christmas stocking for your son or daughter. Those kind of considerations are this year sending people back into stores. And so we're expecting to see a higher percentage of the 165 million consumers who are going to shop between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. We're expecting to see a higher percentage of them than last year shopping in stores rather than just reverting further to online.
I guess because we are approaching kind of the post-pandemic phase where folks aren't as afraid to be out in public, but we've seen discounts advertised for weeks, particularly when it comes to toys and electronics. And what I'm wondering is, earlier this year, we've had a supply chain issue. Those backlogs have cleared up, and I thought a lot of companies had overstocked shelves and were offering deeper discounts because of it. So talk to us about how, what is the significance of Black Friday this year compared to what we saw during the pandemic and even earlier?
So the significance of Black Friday relative to the totality of Christmas or holiday shopping is lower than it was, say, 10 years ago. Because, as you say, Errol, the shopping season is starting earlier and earlier. And in many cases, retailers this year had their, quote, holiday inventories delivered to their stores a month ahead of normal. And if you just take the case of Walmart, for example, which puts out a top 20 toy list for the holiday season, that list was published on August the 30th of this year. And so even in September, let alone October, there are quite a few forward planning shoppers who start their shopping, earlier than even a couple of years ago pre-pandemic. So we are seeing shopping for the holidays spread out over a much longer period of time. And part of it is, as you say, a function of fears about supply shortages at the point of sale in the closing weeks before Christmas. But also it's a function of companies, retail companies, being a bit worried about what's going to happen to the consumer buying power next year and wanting to get as much in their pocket as they can before we go into December.
And I will have to admit that I have already fallen victim to those early Black Friday sales. But another big holiday shopping day, Cyber Monday, of course, just around the corner. A lot of shoppers may want to wait until then to buy their electronics in particular. What other tips do you have for people as they try to save some money but also get those good deals this holiday season?
Well, there's no substitute for advanced research and comparison shopping online and in store. And for some families, it's a bit of a sport where different family members take on different assignments on behalf of the entire family unit to check out the television prices or the video game prices on particular items that they're interested in to make sure they get absolutely the best deal. But there's no substitute for investing time in the research if you want to save money. And this year, of course, with the economic overhang, more and more consumers are looking carefully before they actually put their money on the table. And we're going to probably see the value-oriented retailers outperforming this year, as was suggested perhaps last week when Walmart's performance in the third quarter significantly outbeat Target, for example.
Well, look, knowledge is power when it comes to trying to save money at the store. So we appreciate you, John Quelch, informing us on all we need to know. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Errol.